Yeah, I was just wondering whether you think there's been any sort of like overreach of American powers relative to other countries, because for me it does seem that America and Britain have a lot of power in knowing what everyone else in the world is doing, and you've spoken a lot about how what NSA is doing, what GCHQ is doing is important for the security of me and the security of American citizens, but for me it's clear that it's not really just about that, it's about power across the world, given that America has a history of overthrowing governments it's not happy with, and I think this is most clearly shown given that you're tapping into Angela Merkel. I don't know about other people, but I don't really feel particularly threatened by Angela Merkel.
Okay, there are a lot of questions packed into that. Yeah, we probably didn't get much knowledge about Al-Qaeda from Angela Merkel's BlackBerry, okay? I would admit that. But okay, leadership intentions is a top priority of every intelligence service in the world. Right? Now, you know, I'm not confirming or denying we did or didn't do it. And I think honest men can judge whether or not it was a good idea if we did do it. Okay? But the promise, I was in Munich for the security conference last weekend. We're doing a really late night panel after 11 o'clock in the bar, but it really was a panel, all right? We were on stage and people drinking pills and asking questions. And the one German said to me, well, it's very nice you've promised never to spy on our chancellor, but what about me? Okay? And I said, well, to be very precise, President Obama promised not to spy on this chancellor. So, and if you look at her predecessor, Gerhard Schroeder, that whole going to war with Iraq, talking with Putin thing, I can make a case that's a legitimate foreign intelligence target. Now, about a couple months before he leaves the chancellorship, he secures a €1 billion loan for Nord Stream and Gazprom, and then, after leaving government, becomes a highly paid member of the board. What do you think? Enlightened statecraft or something different? So what I'm saying is all countries have legitimate foreign intelligence needs. I had political guidance. I was waved off of targets because of their sensitivity. And if we did this, maybe we should have been waved off of that one. But this is going to be a continual calculation. All right? And so we'll do that. Now, with regard to American power and British power and overreach and overthrowing governments, we simply don't have enough time here for me to defend all of the actions of the American state since World War II. But I do not believe in American exceptionalism. I really don't. I'm uncomfortable with American exceptionalism. Right? I was in Sarajevo back in the early 90s. Recall a very particularly bloody incident. There was a mortar round lobbed into the marketplace on a Saturday, hit one of the stalls, so it detonated at height. And shrapnel, I mean, it must have been 30 people killed. It was awful. I was in Sarajevo the next week, and I'm walking around, it was bitterly cold, it was winter. I'm walking around the same market, and I can see the hole in the ground from the shrapnel, it's kind of soft asphalt. And I'm there in American military uniform, I'm in battle dress, and I got my parka over, and we all have an American flag here. Okay? And the people in the market just going, hey, USA, 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 hey, USA. Okay? I didn't think I was exceptional. They did. And very often, my country is looked to provide leadership, or actually young men and women could do things for the benefit of the larger globe. And it has less to do with, boy, we really like fighting the war in Iraq than it does, or Afghanistan, or Somalia. Has less to do with that than with the expectations many other nations have of us, which may be fair or unfair, which may be merited or unmerited. Okay? In fact, my personal metric is when this is all done and we're no longer a global hegemon, that history simply says, as a global hegemon, these guys weren't bad. Okay? But we do have responsibilities other nations don't have. And let me parse that down one more level, and then I'll stop and let you all go. We are the only intelligence services on the planet who are and are expected to be global in their coverage. Even GCHQ, MI6, and MI5, they are not MI6. They are not. The Russians are not. The Chinese are not. We are. And You know, frankly, I didn't care for that when I was director of 2 big intelligence agencies, because that's a really big job. But that was the expectation. That's what history has placed on us at this time. And the only thing I can do is do it as well as I can and hope that history is a kind judge as to what we did with that responsibility. Thanks very much for the chance to chat with you. I'll hang out for a few minutes for that question you really did want to ask, but couldn't get to it. Thanks very much.